Hey there! Welcome to the channel where you will find love, laughs, and DIYs. My name is Crafty Kathy, and I am tickled pink that you came to spend some time with me today. Hey guys! My name is Crafty Kathy. If you've never been to my channel before, welcome. We are so glad that you're here. And this is Sabina. It's Sabby, in case you didn't know, and he decided to dress up since we're doing Halloween DIYs today. I am so excited about how these Halloween DIYs turned out. They are so cute, but so easy. I just know they're going to sell like crazy in my store. But I'm not going to talk anymore because we're going to get into these DIYs. Are you ready to get into some DIYs, Sabitha? Oh, you're so gorgeous with your blonde locks and your Horatius breath, and you're just so gorgeous. Like, I mean, come on, you know, really. Today's theme is going to be super easy retro vintage Halloween. These projects were made with dollar store pieces and just old pieces of junk wood I had sitting around. Let's jump in. The first project is a set of 3 cats that we made from some old junk wood. It's actually an old 4x4 that was our mailbox post. My husband put the saw on a 45-degree angle to cut it. That way he could push it right through and it would make the top and cut the ears out for the cats. We got a daddy, a mama, and a little bitty baby cat. When he got the wood cut, I brought them inside, and this is what I've got. I've got the larger, the medium, and the small. And as you see, this wood is really rough. I mean, it was the post to our mailbox, no joke. And you see how we just cut that there? Even the ears are kind of rough, but I like that because it made me think of the old retro cats from the 70s when I was growing up. You know, Halloween, there was just this old tattered looking black cat that, you know, makes me think of my childhood back in those days. So I took some Waverly black color, which is called ink, and I'm just going to slap about 2 coats on all of my kitty cats. And when I'm done, they look so stunning. Now I'm going to make the most important part of these cats, their eyes. Now I wanted them to be wood so that they would pop off the rest of it and really come out at you. Now I decided to do it with paint sticks. I did not soak these paint sticks before I started cutting, but at the very end I remembered that if you take your paint sticks and you soak them, literally soak them in water for about 15 minutes, it loosens them up and makes them so much easier to cut. Plus, I had to cut them with scissors, but if you have those cutters that a lot of people use from Amazon that they cut their paint sticks in half with, that makes it easier too. Just get you some really strong scissors and you just cut them in the shape of footballs. You're going to need 6 and you want them to be as big as they can be. They don't have to be perfect because you can sand them down when you're finished cutting. Again, through a lot of trial and error, I found that the very best way to sand these was with my little paint zipper, I think is what this thing's called. It's on Amazon. It's in my Amazon store. And I'm pretty sure that's what it's called, is a finger zipper or a finger sander. It really did the job fast. And all I was looking for is a good football shape for my kitty cats. Plaid sent me some paints about a year ago, and man, I'd never have used it till now. It's a metallic paint. It's called Color Shift. That's the type of paint. It's made by Folk Art, and the color is called Bright Yellow. I wanted those eyes to pop out at you. And man, this color, I couldn't have picked a better color. It's like it changes whenever you move it around. It's like it catches the light. It doesn't have glitter in it, but it's very metallic-y looking. It's just, it's really cool. But anyways, I painted all 6 of my eyes, the front and the back, the whole 9 yards. Now we're going to put their faces together. I just glued both of the eyes in a catty corner kind of fashion. And then I've got two little slits of wood that were also cut. They were just left over from when we cut our little eye shapes out. I painted those black, and I'm going to stick those right in the center. Doesn't that look like cat eyes? It's so cute. Now, you guys let me know if you like this angle that I'm doing here. I really like this now that I keep my head out of the way. And let's just hope that it stays out of the way through this whole video. Now, I have this wire. I got it at Dollar Tree. It's in the automotive section, and it comes in black and red together. Different little colors, but okay. It comes in the same pack. That's what I'm trying to say. And what I did was I took the black, I took two wires, and I would kind of intertwine them in the middle. And that's where I'm going to put a big old dollop of glue. And I'm going to stick my little whiskers right there. And since they're wire, we can form them any way we want. You can make them as long as short as you want. I wanted Daddy to have a bow tie, so I got this ribbon from the Dollar Tree. And I just did a figure 8 bow, the cause bow they call it. And it's just a simple little finger bow there. I tied it in the middle, and we're going to glue this down where it would be in the position kind of like at his neckline, Out of the two bows I made, I could not decide which one I liked better. But I settled in with the orange and white checkered. I thought that looked very debonair for Daddy Cat. Now we're going to work on Mama Cat. And we're going to do the exact same thing with her. We put the eyes at a catty corner shape. And then we're also going to put those little sticks in there for the center of the eyes. And I wanted her to have two bows because she's a bougie cat. And so what we're going to do is we're just going to do these two different colors of orange bows. And I just placed one on top of the other so that it'd be kind of fluffy and cute. And I stuck it sideways at the bottom part of her ear. And then I also added the whiskers on just like I did Daddy Cat. Then I did the exact same thing for the baby cat, and I decided to make the baby cat a little girl, so we're going to put a bow in her hair, but for her, I just did a single little bow. Now we're going to finish our kitty cat off with my signature buttons. I got to throw a button in there somewhere, so I'm going to make their noses as cute as a button. Each one gets a little button for the nose. And I think these cats are so adorable. I plan to sell these in the store for $25 for the pair of 3. Actually, it's not a pair when it's 3. But for the 3 of them, $25. Let me know what you think.
Right now I'm standing in a corner. I see you from across the room. It's kinda crowded here, but I know you see me too. Everybody's singing, oh, everybody's singing, oh. I don't know what it is about you.
For DIY number 2, I got this glass jar at the Dollar Tree. You can use any jar that just has like a flat front on it. Any side that's flat. I'm going to use Dixie Belle Slick Stick. It's a primer for glass, and it just helps the paint to stick better. The color I'm using is Burlap by Dixie Belle, and I'm going to be using some buttons, of course. Now, listen, you can use any color of paint that is a color that a scarecrow's like skin would be. So kind of like a brownish color like this Burlap. Now all I do is put one quick coat of this slick stick on my jar and let it dry. Now this DIY couldn't be any easier or any cuter. I've got 2 large black buttons, and I'm going to place them on the front of my jar with some hot glue. and just put it on a surface where your jar is not going to roll around. And then I'm going to use an orange permanent marker from Arteza, and I'm going to kind of round the ends. It's a triangle shape, but the ends are kind of rounded in like a scarecrow's nose. And I put that right in between the eyes. Now I'm going to take a black permanent pen. You can use a Sharpie, and I'm just making little eyelashes coming out from the buttons. And then you know how scarecrows have stitches. So I think the stitches look best if you put like a long one and then a little short one right beside it. I've looked at different ones and I think those are prettier. I just made a little very easy mouth with the stitches on it too. I'm going to take some burlap, and this is burlap ribbon from the Dollar Tree. And then what I'm going to do is I need about only an inch. So I had to fold this one in half and cut it. And all we're going to do is wrap and glue this around the top of your lid. And at this point, make sure that your lid is just screwed down on there. You can even put a light in this if you want. It will kind of glow at night. With this burlap color, it will kind of dampen that light, but you can still see it, and it'll be really pretty. So I just put my burlap around the top of the head, and you can take any kind of ribbon, and we're going to make a very simple bow. All I did was literally make a circle here, and I glue it together. And then what I do is I push in the middle and then squish it together, and it makes a simple bow. I took the last little piece of that burlap that I had cut off of there. It's about 1 inch by 1 inch. And I'm going to put that burlap right in the center. But first I tied my little bow together to secure it. And then I take that piece of burlap and I just glue it right over the center part of that bow. Then I take my little bow and I simply hot glue it right underneath that piece of burlap that we just put on there. Then I take some raffia, take as much as you want, and I measured mine, and it was 15 inches of raffia, and I just folded it over itself and tied it really, really tight. Now, this is so cute. She's going to have like a little 50s do like I wear all the time with a headband, and guys, she's got a little raffia bun. How cute is this scarecrow, y'all? Now I take my scissors and I cut right off where I tied that off, because all we really need is that little hump part. That's going to be her little bun. And you just kind of fluff it out. I put a lot of glue on the top of my little mason jar. And then you just glue that little bun up there and you style it as you want. It looks like a little fluffy Dolly Parton hairdo. It's just the cutest thing I've ever seen. I couldn't decide if I liked her with eyebrows or not, so I'm going to show you pictures of both. Hey, if you're liking my videos so far and you find value in my content, would you hit the like button for me? It really helps me out here on YouTube, and it pushes me out there just a little bit more so that people that have never seen me can come across my channel. And hey, stick around and hit that subscribe button. You know we want you to be part of our family. Now back to the video. This one is going to be another wood DIY. I went to my printer and I printed out a bunch of cute Halloween images. They're all like retro because I'm so into vintage. And I found most of these at Graphics Fairy, but when I think of my childhood and Halloween, Charlie Brown was always the pinnacle. My family laughs at me because I know every word to the whole movie. I would get so excited when it would come on every year. So I got these blocks now at the thrift store. I have had these things for years and I got a whole box of them. I didn't know what to do with them. So we're just going to make shelf sitters out of them. They're all different sizes. So here is where I cut out all of my different prints. And if your prints have words on them, you need to mirror your image because you're going to lay it down flat, and you definitely want your image to have the words come out correctly. So I cut each one of these out, and we're going to put these on the shelf sitters. Paint your wood whatever color you want. I did orange and white, and I have to say the white ones turned out better. And you just take your Mod Podge. I used matte, but you can use any kind. And you just put it on the surface, and you lay your image down on top, and you're going to put it face down, and you kind of push it and flatten it out. Make sure there's no bubbles or wrinkles because that does show up. I used a little brayer that I have, and I also used my little Cricut tool. You can use a credit card or anything just to make sure that there's no bubbles on there. It was very simple. I went through all these and put Mod Podge and the image of each one on each block, and then you just leave them alone and let them absolutely dry. I let mine dry completely for about 4 hours. Now the next step is to either take a damp rag, I just used a baby wipe, and you kind of blot the image and just make sure that it's totally dry before you do this now. But you wet it, and when you get to the point to where you can actually see the image through the wetness, you use your finger very, very carefully, and you just kind of rub, and you're actually rubbing that paper away. But be careful, don't rub too hard over the actual image because you'll rub it away too, and you don't want that. So I tried not to leave too much like overhang, if you will. I just tried to put the image on there and not have a lot of extra space because you just got to end up taking that off anyway. So I hope you can understand what that means, but you just go over it very carefully, and you keep adding water if you need, or that damp cloth or baby wipe, until you get all of the paper off of each one. This is a very easy project, and you kind of learn as you go, and you get the feel for how much to take off, how much wetness you need. The whole thing is just kind of a learning curve as you go. So I had about 6, I think, of these. I had 2 big ones and 4 small ones, and I just took my time and went over them. You just have to have patience now. If you have any overhang off of the side of your wood, you can just take a sanding sponge and go over it, and it comes right off. I had a couple of different ones with the Snoopy images that I purchased off of Etsy. And if I could, I would share those with you guys, but I would get in big trouble because the rules state that if you buy it off of Etsy, you can't just turn around and give it to other people. But I will gladly put in the description box where I got these Snoopy SVGs very cheap. So when I finally got the paper off of all of these, that's when the fun begins. I had a small twig that I had cut to make stems for my pumpkins, and I have one of those little table saws that I got off of Amazon. It's so handy. It's really just a Dremel wheel, like the wheel of a Dremel, and it cuts these little stems perfectly. It's just like zip, and it's there. And so I put the little stem on each of my pumpkins, and then I went over the front of these and sealed them back up with Mod Podge when I was finished. Now we're going to embellish them. I found on discount at Walmart some tulle. I believe that's how you say this word. I absolutely hate that word because I don't know if it's like tulle, toile. I have no idea. But I cut these in 1-inch strips because we're going to use them to make a beautiful fluffy little ribbon. I also have a bunch of different Halloween looking ribbon here, and it's the smaller 1-inch, and I just cut a piece of it and some of the tulle, and I'm going to literally wrap it around the stem, and all I'm doing is just tying it and just letting it fluff out. Then I just take various types of ribbon, And on most of them, I used 2 ribbons. On some, I just used 1. It just depended on what I thought would look best with it. I absolutely love this ribbon that I got from burlapfabric.com, and it's just black and white striped, and I think it looks so good for Halloween. And of course, I have to put a signature button on the front of most of these, and then on some of them, I put pine cones. But I put the toile tool on every single one of them and the ribbons, and just embellished it with different things. I even used pieces of the colored potpourri from the Dollar Tree. Now next, I'm going to take my little stamp set, and I got this off of Amazon. It's in my description box if you want one, and it just makes whatever words you want. And there was a few of these that had no words on them, and it was just a very simple picture, and I felt like it needed something. And all I could come up with was to put boo on it, but it turned out so cute. Then I took every single one of my little shelf sitters and I ran this black ink, it's permanent, and I run it down all 3 sides just to give it an extra little touch. And on a few of them, I put little leaves on the back of the stem just for a little extra touch. Now let me know what you think about this one. I would love for you guys to let me know what your favorite memory from your childhood Halloween is. Like I said, mine was always watching Snoopy, and I can remember back in the days when it was safe to go from house to house because we knew everyone in our town, and my mom would actually take us and dump us out, and she would follow us in the car, and we would walk for miles and miles and come back with these huge bags of candy. And like we would have candy all the way up until like Christmas, until she finally got sick of it and threw it out. But guys, I have so many memories of dressing up as Care Bears. And, you know, back in the 80s, I was big on the show Alf. I don't know if any of you guys remember him, but I dressed up as him one year. And, of course, I was Snoopy, and I was Strawberry Shortcake one year. And what's funny is how trends come back. And then all those years later, my daughter, who's 14 now, when she was 3, she dressed up as Strawberry Shortcake. But guys, those are memories that just are so sweet, and they don't last long, guys. So let me know in the comments your favorite tradition or your favorite thing to do at Halloween when you were a kid. Now let's keep going. For DIY number 4, I have various jars that I got from the Dollar Tree. I got those last year, and then these with the little horseshoe looking ones on them, and then the one large one. What I'm planning to do is take this apple and these little pumpkins, and I've also got some smaller pumpkins that come in a pack at Dollar Tree. It's these little plastic ones, and they come in this pack called Harvest Decor, and they are really cute on top of these. Now, what I plan to do is take those plastic pumpkins and these little styrofoam pumpkins, and these are the ones that have the little wire in the back of them, and they look so cute when you glue them on the top of the little jars. Then I took only the lids outside, and I had all these different colors of spray paint, but I didn't know which ones to use. And for most of them, I use this orange color. It's called Rustic Orange, and it's Rust-Oleum 2 times. And I also use this color called Copper Rose, and it's from Rust-Oleum Metallic line. And I even sprayed it lightly over the orange so it would have a little shine to it. While those were drying, I took the jars, and then I had these little owl, like little wood pieces that comes from the Dollar Tree. They're not really wood because I could bend them a little bit, but I just hot glued them, one on each of the smaller jars that matched because I thought that was cute. Owls have always had like a retro feel to me because my mom had them everywhere in her home decor in the 80s. And of course, I used buttons for their eyes. Now, these were so easy and quick to make, and it's all Dollar Tree items. I just can't believe how cute these are. And look, you can put them on little candle stands and they're just cute as a little candy jar or whatever you want to put in these. They would be adorable at a little Halloween party. Or maybe a school party, and you can take it and give it to your teacher, especially the one with the apple. These are so sweet. Hey, if you stuck with me through this whole video, I just want to say thank you and let you know how much I appreciate you. Don't forget to give me a like and subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. I hope that you like today's crafts. I have so many Halloween ideas, and we're going to be doing these for the next few weeks off and on. So don't forget, my next video will be out Friday at 6:30, Tuesdays and Fridays at 6:30. I hope to see you guys there. And hey, don't forget to tell me what your favorite Halloween memory was from your childhood. I love to hear all kinds of stuff from you guys in the comments below. And if you happen to know a good way to sharpen your scissors at home, please let me know, because I have some scissors that I need to sharpen and I have no idea what to do. So, if you will, help your girl out. And I love you guys so very much, and I will see you very soon.
I'm walking down
Bye-bye.
the street on clouds instead of the concrete I'm dancing through. Everything's about to come my way. Nothing can ruin my day, no matter what anyone does or say. I smile at fools. No, I don't care, 'cause I am on my way up, and I won't stop, I won't slow down. Steady on my feet, I'm gonna rise up. No, I won't stop, it is my time. 'Cause I know what it's like to be broke. I know what it's like when nothing goes your way. So I'm gonna let myself enjoy the fruit from this lucky day. Yeah, I am on my way up. I won't